Yes, they've arrived. This is from last night. Did you see this picture in the news? And listen to these filters. This is so cool. Watch this. And it slowly fades down. Isn't that cool? So welcome. Hello. Let's see. Let's turn this on. Hi. How's everybody doing? Welcome to the live stream. My name's John Limcool. And we are going to have some fun today. We do this every Saturday. Get this back resized. Make sure the artwork still looks good. Let's see. Let me put a note on Facebook really quick. I want to know, hey, good to see you all. I'll say hi to you in a second. 1 second. I'm trying a couple different strategies to get people to know that the live stream is happening. Live stream is happening right now with a link. Let's post that into the Plugin Guru Unify Power Users group. If you're on Facebook, make sure that you're a part of the Plugin Guru Unify Power Users. Search for that. Look for Unify Power Users. And that will pop up this page right here. And the live stream is live. So maybe we'll see if we can get some people from YouTube to come over and join us that might just be perusing and not remembering there's a live stream happening because they're not regulars. Who knows? Anyway, welcome. My name's John Limcool. I host a website. Well, I own a website called pluginguru.com. Let me take you there really quick. We have a new library that this sound is a part of. This is MegaMagic Bells and Winds. We just updated it. I need to update the page. I thought I did already. Oh, well. It's been updated now to have 300 patches, not 245 patches. I added 55 patches this week. This patch right here being one of them. Link to this library is in the video description. It's on its introductory price for 2 more days. So if you don't own it and you want to get some updated... I added new things. The library's been out for other plugins, but this new version is pretty special. This patch, for example, check this out. This one patch right here has a melody that's playing, and the LFO is speeding up and slowing down. So when you put that into the mix, it just has this like energy like a siren, but it's not a siren. For those of you that want a little history, back in the day, there was a synthesizer called the Korg 01W that came out that I worked on. And Stephen K., who later on went on to develop Karma and the Karma keyboards and stuff like that, he brought to that project some really amazing samples. One of them being a sample called Flute Effects, which is of a flute playing, and then we put that into the first patch and some other things. This is a variation on that done in synth programming. And if you open up this Unify layer, let's shrink it down so you can see what's going on. There's a Guru sampler that has a custom LFO shape that I designed that's giving me that melody. Kind of like Flute Effects. And then I have it embedded so that I can have a CC writer that is slowly taking it down in speed and then up in speed. So you've got this really cool layer that's dynamically changing. On top of this, the other thing that's really fun is there's this really cool a resonant fall, and then There's a cool pad from MegaMagic Bells and Winds for a cool thick thing. And then right here is two really nice THX kind of effect. And that's done again using our lovely little custom pitch LFO. By clicking this box right here, it turns it just into an envelope that plays once. And so you can control the speed. If I speed this up, one side's already settled. If I slow it down even more, one side's really slow now. It'll take a while to get there. So there's a lot going on in this patch. I got kind of deep into the programming in this library, the bonus patches. I wanted to do more than just layer a couple sounds. Those are nice, but some of these patches definitely go some new territory as far as just depth of a patch and stuff like this. So this is like a 5 oscillator picture omnisphere or serum or something like that. It would require 5 oscillators to get this to happen. So you have the THX effect, a pad, the and then you just have a nice big resonant sound all at once. So it's like a 5, well, 1, 2, 1. It's 4 different elements being used. Yes, if you are interested in beta testing, we will be starting that up probably within the month, maybe sooner. I don't know. We're getting to a good place. We've gone through, and a lot of the big chunks are done. Paul is working every day on all sorts of stuff. Email us at unifysupport@pluginguru.com, our tech support, and Taylor will help manage and get it so that I can respond and get people to the list. I'm also, if you were a beta tester with Unify version 1, I'll be sending out a note probably this week asking you to reply. And if you reply, I will add you back to the beta list for testing for Unify 2. We don't want a ton of people, but we need, so when you write to us, make sure you tell us what computer you use, how you work with music. Are you in productions every day? Are you an avid player that works with stuff after work? Just so we know in context what you can, where you're going to be able to test Unify at, because we want to push the testing and make sure things happen, but it needs to be controlled, you know. And we'll go from there. But it's super exciting. Yeah, Tom, I hear you, man. Money is a new weird commodity for a lot of times right now. It'll be there. I run sales, as you guys know, fairly often, sometimes really deep sales. I like to give people opportunities to get the libraries. But this is a killer library. I'm still going to show it off, assuming you all can afford to buy it. Because otherwise, why do I do these? But anyway, so this is one of the patches. As you can see, on top of the regular library, now at the end for the Z, it now has, I think, let's see if we go over here, the exact number. If we go like Z, I even made some bases, believe it or not. There is a total of 72 bonus patches on top of all the core library inside of the library. Let's see, some of the bases would be up here like... it's got a bell element, and I'm using one of the Tremolo. That's one of the Steve Taglioni flutes. Believe it or not, this is actually made from flutes. I've got distortion on it to change the character of it. Hear the flute in there and stuff like that. And so that worked out really cool for this bass. Cool basses. Nightshade is huge, maybe too huge. This is one of those where I look back now and I probably should have turned this down by about 5 dB because it's a little loud. So if you want, hold down Option and drag to turn it down 5 dB to make sure it's not overdriving too loud, because there's a lot of low energy in this one. Lots of cool bells. Kind of a mix of digital and electronic and sample. Now, one cool thing, every one of these bonus patches, I asked Taylor, and Taylor graciously agreed to help me on this adventure. Every bonus patch has its own artwork, which is really cool. So we have images to go with every patch. When you go to Dreams Can Come True, this one's not really for chords because down here it kind of falls apart, but it's just pure gold up high. Here's your dreams coming true. So that came out lovely. And this is using one of the new sample maps. An interesting story. I put this into the email newsletter. Some of you might not have seen it. This is the glockenspiel. It's a school silver metal bar glockenspiel that I sampled as bonus, and I sampled it with 3 different mallets. I've shown you guys, I've a number of times. There's a hard plastic mallet, the green is a rubber, and then this white, this is a timpani mallet. And it just had the softest, nice texture. Check this out. I didn't even know this. I was taking pictures of this, and I flipped it around, and on the back, did I show you last week? Maybe I did. I can't remember now. But this came from my mom and dad's music store from 40 years ago. My mom and dad owned a music store in Ontario, Oregon, as I grew up as a kid. And it still has a $160 price sticker on that from Trendsetters, my mom and dad's music store in Ontario. So I didn't know when I was sampling this. I found out after the fact that it's something that's, I've had that for a long time. I didn't realize how long or where it had come from, but that's fascinating. So anyway, Glimmer of Hope. Really cool, mellow, just kind of a presence. I'm using LFOs to give you a tremolo effect. That really bright, really rich kind of a thing. And Taylor came up with this for the global statement. So I replaced, he had another bird here, and I use Photoshop. It's got some incredible AI tools to center the bird and get it. So when Unify 2 comes out, you'll understand this fits. It's just awesome. Heaven in Sight. I mean, because bells really are that beautiful, then have all sorts of stuff build around this type of a thing. Holding Hands. And here's the image for Holding Hands. don't know, there's something about seeing images that really tie in the vibe. This is kind of a little bit ominous and don't go in that forest, man. You know, that kind of a vibe and stuff like that. Man in the mirror. We'll keep going. I'm going to show you some more stuff, but I want to briefly mention, since you guys are talking about it in the chat, any of the cool images are built into the UI. Yes. Good. I'm glad that we got that fixed. Anyway, there's 2 bonus libraries I want to be showing you. There's this one, but there's also one for Electric Dreams. Steve Seedman created Sideman. I never can... Sidemin. I think that's how I say his name. He wrote it in an email to me, and I'm sorry if I said it wrong. He did a bonus library for Electric Dreams that I'm going to be showing you today too, which is it's really fun. Electric Dreams is a library of guitar, bass, and drums that I did last fall. Kind of like going for the Lana Del Rey kind of a vibe with, like, you know, moody, smoky room, poppy kind of stuff. I'll show that once we get through Bells and Winds. I also have 2 plugins to show you. Rob Papen has released Explorer 10, which is updated with a whole new synthesizer plugin called Wire Pluck. One of the deeper synthesizer plugins you're going to see. It has the interface itself. Here, let me call it up really quick. We'll look at this. We'll explore it in a bit, but check this out. Wire Pluck is one of these that, and I think I made this too big to show on the screen. So let me change the interface size. Let's just say 125. And his plugins, he's using an engine where it has to be reloaded. Here we go. So Wire Pluck is 3 different layers that can be wave, FM, or the string physical DSP model. And so it makes really cool sounds. The interesting thing is this. This is the simple editor. If you click advanced, I think we were in advanced here. So here, simple editor. I was showing it by default. It remembers where you're at, and I've been looking and working in the advanced. This is the advanced editor where you have control over all the things in the arpeggiator, more controls for the filters, the envelopes. There's a manager as well, but the simple version interface looks like this. We'll explore this in a bit. Also, Izotope has a new thing called FXEQ, and I have downloaded it. I'm just running the trial so I can show you about it, and it's really usable. It's a cool icon. You know, a lot of times you don't want the effects to affect the whole frequency spectrum, and it takes work to put some sort of a frequency splitter or some way to limit and then put something just in a certain frequency domain. Here, it's all built into the plugin for multiple effects. So we'll take a look at all of those. Storms are happening. Oh, be careful and safe out there, Tom. No doubt. Anyway, so Storybook Princess. And we did little princess sitting out in the mountains doing that stuff. So there's lots of bells. BPM, I went crazy. I had all sorts of fun. And Taylor had fun with the artwork. So this is using CC writers to control sample rate and all sorts of things. Let me do this. Let me tell this window to be smaller. One thing that's really cool is on the little dot here, you can say save as preferred window size. And I think from now on, it keeps opening up as a bigger window size. And I think it's because that's where I have it set. So we'll see if that works. But this is using 2 Unify layers. Inside each Unify layer has a CC writer at the top and has something changing the sample rate conversion. So you see here it's changing the degrade parameter, which is making parameters inside of here. Degrade. Dance around. Yes, don't get zapped. You know, you should have some sort of a UPS power supply thing. We all should. Heart pulse is lovely. If you bring up the mod wheel, there's a heart pulse. Bring the mod wheel down, you lose the little 8th note pulse, but you just have the regular. Yeah, nice. Island Dreamer. And the custom image. At one point, Taylor had a photo that looked like me, this character like me with a big pina colada in his hands, smiling at the screen. I thought that's a little scary. I'm more like, I want images that set a mood. I'm not like really trying for the artwork I want to do for my libraries, not so much into like looking at someone's face that's looking back at you for the most part or something like that. Island Lover is even more. Got more of that kind of vibe. Reliable Instability is another cool one. This is another one where this is using the pitch LFO to give me some like instability. If I have the intensity at 9.68, if I set it to 12, but I'd have to like hold down Option. And for those of you that don't know, if you hold down Option when you go here, you're changing the level, but you're not changing the timing. It won't move the timing. So you can play with parameters on this page where you hold down Option or Alt before you drag, and it will change the parameter value, but not change where it is time-wise. Because normally if you click this and drag it, it moves right or left, right? But anytime you come to our custom grid, if you hit Option or Alt and drag, right and left, it won't move. So this is being used to, you know, and then you put that with other things that are playing normal. And you just get this kind of like, something elastic. It's like that, like super ball bouncing uncontrollably in the room. Was it the Nutty Professor back in the day that had made the super gel? A Club Companion. I think this is one where someone's looking at. No, this is the DJs. Add a cool groove to this. Let's see if we went to Groove Summit. And we said, let's just go to Club 4 and say Unify layer. Let's be a little bit wider because my names are so big. Let's turn this down a little bit. Then add bass. You get the idea. You can have all sorts of fun, but it's got this really cool rhythmic element to it. So that came out really fun. Tons and tons. There's so much stuff. Here's one of the bigger ones. This is a 7-layer. Let's explore. By the way, if you use right click when you click solo, you can just keep using right click. It will turn off the previous solo. So it's really great for exploring and experimenting to find out what's going on. Like that's just the ankle bells. Just give me a little. So there's big hits from the plucks because one of the things added to Bells and Winds for Unify is all of these pluck patches. So there's like 28 different plucks that are really cool. So that kind of stuff is in there. Let's see, go to the BPM stuff. Let's see what else we have here. Legends of the 80s. Kind of has that big 80s vibe. I did Disco Room. I originally had a guy wearing roller skates, but I was like, maybe just the room's fine. So. Hi, Yives, welcome. So, there's this, there's my bestie. Let's see. The pulses are really cool. These are more straight ahead simple. Oh, wait, pop ready. Then the pulses are just. And there's 3 different ones. There's winds, harmonica, and then the wood flute. So they're each different. And if you want to modify these more, all you have to do is open up Guru Sampler. This is using, I think, the Pump House to do the rhythm. No? Where am I doing it? All right, what am I doing? Let's see. Oh, you know what? I put a Pump House at the master output. That's what I did. So that everything runs through it. So here it is. And again, holding that Option and Alt, you can just drag these around and really quickly have your own. Let's add another one, right? You know, you can just program your way. Just hold down Option Alt and drag these around. And you make your own pattern. Right? So those are fun to play with. So Adorable has the puppies. Love the puppies. That's AI generated puppies. Can you believe it? I mean, they look pretty much like puppies to me. Just using sample and hold, you hear. So let's right click. Let's have a pulsing bell element. Have a nice solid stable glue element. We have high frequency strings. And then I was like, I need a little more something for. There you go. So you can solo these parts out and use them as separate patches. Sometimes in libraries, I'll do that for you and make separate patches. I didn't a lot in this one. Each one was its own concept. All you have to do is hold down Option Alt and click the little bullet in the top right for the first 3 patches. And now you just have this. Right? So it's not that hard to modify these patches. You can even start with this and say you like the strings and you like that and you don't want the other elements, just delete the first 2 and now you have the strings. Right? So it's easy to modify these to your heart's content. Just trying to set things up. Tribal Trotting in the Sun. Here we are. That's a big sun. Then I did an upbeat pulse because That's different than the other type of a pulse, and so there's 3 variations of upbeat pulses, and again, if you wanted to use this concept, the pump house is doing its thing, so all you have to do is go to the layers and change it to any sound you want. Let's say that I wanted to use some of the Taglioni winds that are doing things like, let's say, the fluttered tongue, and let's go to the second layer, and let's have that also do something from Taglioni's really cool bonus patches, like, oh, let's say ocarina. So now, the pulsing energy is the same, but the sounds underneath it can be easily changed just by changing what each GUI sampler is loading up. So that's really fun. The big pads with BP. Right? That kind of stuff. We got appropriate waveforms flying out of your screen. Let's see here. Pasquale is really cool for the... As you bring up the mod wheel, you get more of a rhythm. A little bit harder snare drum thing. Really cool to build around. I just want to write music when I play half of these patches. You know? So, as you can see, lots of BPM stuff here to play with. The Sacred Sundance, because we all need a... Oh, this is one where you play one note. Remember we started this last week? Here's the final. So this has the rhythm in the left hand and up high. It has both a slow wind pad and it's got tinkly bells. And you can see here from the levels, I also added MIDI filters and turned off sustain pedals so you could play a sustain pedal and have that play, and then you can play a melody all you want and it's not going to be stuck. Here, this is one of those programming things that you just kind of learn with experience. If you didn't have MIDI filters on the lead in the right hand, they all play if you're holding down the sustain pedal, right? So if you're playing like a chord kind of thing, but if you want to play a melody, you want the sustain pedal to not be in the right hand. So we have a MIDI filter. You just go in and on sustain pedal, you say suppress. A lot of plugins don't listen to sustain. Some of the more free plugins, they just haven't incorporated sustain. So we also have the ability to emulate, which means that it will sustain the notes as if there was the programmer programmed it for it. So by adding suppress, I can put that on so that now I can hit the sustain pedal. I can be playing with controllers. I could be over playing another part, and then I can play the melody. And it's not muddy. I could be, whatever I gotta do with my other hand, I can keep the sustain pedal down to keep the groove going. So the MIDI filter is really handy for that. So it's really nice. Chords, we have these, and these images are cool. And this is one of those where the glyph speed is here on a knob, so you can alter it. And here we're in heaven. So you have all sorts of ways to use these. There's a whole bunch of them. Keys, here's Airhead. Got that kind of windy element. But plays like a piano. Fusion winds for the... This is fun. At one point, it was just this. But for fusion, so often you like a little ear candy on the attack. So I incorporated just a pan flute that attacks, and then it goes away. It gets out of the way so it doesn't sustain, so that... works around the whole keyboard. Now, if you're in the mix and you go, well, I kind of need that shifty thing to stick out more, a great way without increasing the volume is to go to your EQ. You can turn these up for the high end. That's a great way to get something to stick out of the mix, to slightly just enhance those frequencies, you know? Man, you guys are having some great conversations here. Yes, I don't think you can copyright AI stuff, so... Now, what I do with Midjourney is I pay for a personal private account so that these images that I'm generating for the artworks are not available to other people, so that it's just exclusive to me and you guys and my products. I don't want the way that Midjourney works, which they have a really cool website now and all that stuff, but if you have just a normal account with them, you're in a group of like 20 different servers. If you create something, everybody in that server can see your prompt and your final image that you created. And they can copy your prompt and they can use it, or they can use your images because they're not copyrightable. But I protect it just a little bit by having it be private so everybody doesn't have access to these images. I love how cool this has this little, just high energy. That's from Sansa Circle right here. And as you can see, I used a high pass filter. I think I did it here. Oh, the band pass. So I wanted just to emphasize these frequencies in the sample. Right? So that way it's there. Yeah, let's make it even louder so we can really hear it, but right, so that came out really cool. When Love Takes Hold. Using a little bit of the harmonica for the Young Love. I showed you Arrival earlier. That has all sorts of stuff going on. There's a couple others here that get really fun. Let me see. Don't Look in the Water is cool. And Taylor came up with an appropriate, kind of out of the water. This is just before the tax, I think, right? But cool, just all these really cool flutes and stuff put together. Cosmic Calliope. Mod Wheel Wet to Dry is just a cool. And you notice it's enabling and the two layers, and the volume is dropping, which normally this doesn't do. But that's because I have a volume, like, shut up. So that here, if we turn this off, so you could do this kind of a thing too. If you turn off that control for the volume, and I should have done it this way. I was going to show you this. If you right click, let's see, wet to dry, hit the little checkbox. This is your enable, disable for the controls. So now it's like I got rid of it, but it's still there. So I could turn it back on so you can hear the difference. And if you want to make it a more smooth transition, just click this and drag it. That might have been more usable. I was kind of like trying to like make a really strong point that you've got this abrupt ability for like. And again, if you want, this is one of those sounds where, because in the library there is wet and dry, there's reverb versions and so forth of all sorts of things, you could open up these two Guru samplers, set them right here side by side so we can see what's going on. We could go to any of these sounds in here. Like this is Pan Flute 3. Let's say we try this with the, and this is, what is this? This is the dry. So let's go to Wood Flute 5. And so up here, change the reverb version to Wood Flute 5 reverb. And now it's. So you can use any of the sounds. Just go through the list. Say we do octo. This is the reverb side, right? Because we were on reverb. So if we go octave 1 reverb and octave 1 dry, we now have. You know, you get the idea. So it's kind of a setup template that you can use to shift to all the different patches. So 300 patches, custom artwork. This library is done. I'm really happy with how it turned out. Best version of MegaMagic Bells and Winds. So there you go to play with. The other bonus library that was created, like I mentioned, was for Electric Dreams. If you recall Electric Dreams, let's go over here to like some of the trio stuff. BPM. Where did I put them? It's going to take me a second to remember everything I did here. So that we got these BPM pads, basses. I thought I had some, or is it a different? Let's see. BPM split. Oh, I'm in the wrong library. Duh. Excuse me. Electric Dreams. I'm like, I can't find my patches. It's like, well, because you're in the wrong library. Here we go. The trio. So this has, I think it's you play low C, start the drums, bass. You know, so it's one of these really fun libraries with bass, drums, guitars. I recorded the drums in my entryway here last year. But one thing that came with this library was these synth pads and stuff. There were 5 different pads. And I really went for like the thick Juno 60. because with these you can take the mod wheel, make them really dark. Because of the thickness and the girth of them, you're able to keep it so that it's still a strong pad with guitars and bass and stuff around, right? Well, one of our customers, Steven Seidman, reached out a while back. I'm not saying it right. Seidman. Sorry, Steven. He reached out and said, hey, I've been working on a bonus library. Would you like to get that to everybody when I'm done with it? I'm like, yeah, of course. And so he put together about 61 patches. I made one patch for this. I made a BPM guitar with pulsing kind of element, which is nice. But there are other really cool guitars in here. Really nice treatments for the guitars in different ways than they were presented in the original library. The chorus pad's lovely. But a lot of this library focuses, as you can see, on pads and synth sounds. So there's all these. And this is a free library. If you own Electric Dreams, all these patches can be added. That kind of a thing. Playground. Really cool plucky things, swooshers. Right? Really, really fun. So if you own this library, here's nice basses. Really cool. The drum kit is electronic. Where's my open hi-hat? Oh, it's still on velocity. It's on velocity. So this is one of the patches. You might want to go to some of these and take the velocity to the envelope down. I should have fixed that. He had velocity opening a high pass filter, which as you add more velocity, it makes the sound go away. And so on this keyboard, if I play soft instead of I play harder, it goes away. Just play soft notes. Right? So you have electronic drum kits, and then all these really cool. Really nice treatments for this got the library. So whole bunch of stuff, broken synth keys. Just really usable for your poppy kind of synthy stuff that you want to use. And because of how easy Unify is, if you were to go here to Groove Sampler and you don't want the sound to go away, just bring up the sustain and then do the same to the other layer, because it's also got a decay to a sustained value of 0. This means that the volume goes to 0 and goes away after this amount of time. Just bring up the sustain. Maybe have it come down softer. Another thing fun that you can do to this library, if you wanted to get even more analog when you're playing notes over and over again, is increase the random so that it randomly is choosing different places in these waveforms. Each time I'm playing the note now, it's at a different location, which just has it give more variability. Is there a way to lock Unify into a specific scale? we don't deal with scales inside of Unify. We leave it up to the plugins. So we don't have any, that's something that you look at the plugin you're working with. If you're working with Omnisphere or something that has the microtonal scales and so forth, that's where you set those up. Unify, our Guru sampler is very basic. We didn't get into scales and all that kind of stuff, so no. Is there a link for... Yes, if you own this library already, there's a couple ways. There's the link in the video description that will take you to downloading it from Dropbox. If you log into pluginguru.com, on the My Account page, when you get down to Electric Dreams, it will she'll now have the bonus library added there as well for you. To add it and download it, all you have to do is drag it over Unify, say OK. It's a secondary, it's an added library next to Electric Dreams. These patches are not added to Electric Dreams. It will be a different directory entry in the list that you pull down, all right? So there's Electric Dreams, and then there's Electric Dreams bonus SSQ, which is the Steven Sidemin. And for this weekend, there's a special price for Electric Dreams. So if you go to pluginguru.com, search, if you go, let's see, if we go here, and you go to products, and you go to Electric Dreams, it's up here somewhere, Electric Dreams. If you click that, it will take you to the library. I'm not going to show you publicly because the price is really low right now. And it's only that way for 2 more days. And so, but if you go there and it's at this great price, grab it. Okay, so there's where we're at. As far as the new plugins, let's get into the new stuff. There's some really cool things that have come out. Oh, great. Bender, that's awesome. Hi, new friend. Welcome. Yeah, so Unify is very fun. I wish I could show you. We've done I'm not even going to say it, but Unify 2 is coming soon, and it's just jaw-dropping. I'm so excited. So it's very hard for me to keep my mouth shut. I like to blab about stuff, and so to keep my mouth shut, I'm very proud of myself because I so badly want to show it to you right now, but I won't because we got to wait. It's just good things come to those that wait, right? So let's do this. Let's show Wire Pluck first. This is part of the Rob Papen library of plugins. If you go Rob Papen here, he has a whole series, and there's a link in our video description to get to his website. If I go robpapen.com, he's now with Explorer 10, which has Synth, Raw 2, and Wire Pluck added, which is really cool. Synth Effects is basically a synthesizer audio effect plugin that does some really cool things. All of these are included, plus even more inside of Explorer 10, and Wire Pluck being the newest. And it's available on its own if you want to buy it separately for $49. Here is the video link. The video link is also in the video description for getting to this page. It's available for $49. And what is Wire Plucked? Let's play with this for a second. It's pretty cool. This goes, let's see, Wire Pluck. So I say Wire Pluck. And here's the introductory patch. And you hear that kind of familiar if you've worked with DSP synthesizers that do that. As you can see, there's wire, and waves. So here's just the wire by itself. So you have some basic controls for what type of a wire sound it is, the energy that's in the loop, and the tonality. right? So you have that, or you could change this to be FM, which gives you your standard FM kind of stuff. Right? And so you have 3 layers. So you'll hear kind of like some like, oh, that sounds like a DX7 kind of, you know? But it's got some other things going on too. So it's got some unique qualities to it. And then if you want, you can hit the advanced button, which will get you access to the arpeggiator. So you can see here where the tune. So you can play around with the tuning of these. So you could get that kind of stuff going on and so forth. There's all sorts of, so here's kind of like a showing of the stuff. So here's like some of the key things. You know, Rob always makes really great presets. So. Right, so those are cool. Cool sound to it. And the physical modeled string. Right, so really nice. As you see, you have distortion, modulation effects, which includes chorus, the talk box we heard in some of the patches, the gating from Gator. And it's got a cool interface for turning this stuff on and off. Delay, reverb. I'll bypass all of it so you can hear. So this built a lot about the effects. Yeah, it's got lots of potential. It sounds different than other stuff, you know? Pretty cool. I hope he keeps exploring the physical modeling stuff because there's so much you can do with bowing and wind as an energy source instead of just a pluck. But string's a great place to start. Cool tacky thing. Kind of Koto-ish. Asia feel. Here's one of the things if we go to the ARP. Somehow he's got this doing chords. Oh, here we go. So he's got a playback speed. To all at once. That's pretty cool. Cool thing on the mod wheel. Cool. Very fun. Pluck the dag. So this is one where you can see the 3 layers. There's FM, brighter FM, and the nice analog. And you put the 3 together. Hi, Junebug. Can you also download the 2 Livestream bonus? Let's see. Let me check really quick over here. I have all the bonus patches. Let's see. Plugin Group freebies to the libraries. Electric Dreams. All I have is one that I did November 19th of 2024. Let's see here. Let me give you the link. I'll put it in the video description right here. That's the bonuses that were made in the live stream. Now, caution, because those patches probably are inside the bonus content that I finally released, updated and fixed. So you might want to take a look at those patches. Chances are they are already in the library, because usually if I do something in the live stream, I incorporate into the full library if I'm doing a bonus patch. But if you want to reference it and check it, I can't remember back to November what I did then, so you know. So yeah, lots of cool stuff. You can get the full Explorer if you want the whole Rob Papen catalog. There's all sorts of cool synths doing FM, subtractive, gritty, distorted, really cool. His reverb, his RevSane, I think it's called, the reverb audio effect plugins. Let's see, Rob Papen. He's got Del Sane, which is delay, low Sane, Master Magic, which is great. Effects, here's Reverb Sane, which has this really cool globe in the middle that goes dancing around a lot of these patches, so you can get let's see if I now the global's starting to dance. So some really cool effects, cool ideas, things outside of the box of what I've seen from most other developers. He's very creative. So I highly recommend all of his stuff. If you don't have it, it's a safe bet. You get a lot for your money from him and his plugins, stuff like that. Let's see. So there is that. The video description is the link is in the video description. Let's get back to bells and winds. I'm going to find a nice bright airy pad to show you the new Izotope effect. Let's do Dreaming of a Better World. Okay, let's go down here and say FXEQ. FXEQ. As I said, I'm just running in trial mode, which gives you like 30 days to play with it. And the concept is simple. You have these different effects, and each one has different options. And then you really don't hear the effect, like saturation, until you bring it up. And now you're controlling and adding EQ to it. And then I could, but it's really emphasized up here. If I bring this down, you don't hear the effect. I've heard some people complaining, well, there's not a wet dry effect. It's like, well, because this is your wet dry right here. If it's 0, you don't hear it. It passes through, it's not processed. As soon as you bring this up, and then you have different colors for the different effects. So if you want the reverb, say I want this to be wider. Now I got wide effects of reverb. But if I want the reverb to just be in the high end, I could control by this and move it up here. So that's a unique thing that a lot of other effects don't give you the option to do. If I want to have a modulated chorus effect, let's say I want a flanger so we can really tell, right? I wish it had the ability on the flanger to get into like more like feedbacky stuff. I don't see any options for feedback. But you have the controls here for the shape of the reverb, or the how this is going to be like low. Like now you hear the flanger just from here down, but it's not touching the high frequencies, right? And say I want this distortion just to touch up here. I can do that. So it is unique. If for $49, it's a cool ability that you can't do with most effects. Most effects, it's a blanket effect, covers all frequencies. Then what I do a lot of times in Unify is I'll add a high pass filter or a low pass filter after or before an effect to basically do this. This basically does that for you. Here's your low pass filter, or no, your high pass filter, because it's only letting from this frequency below. Here's your low pass. So it's emphasizing just those frequencies. I think it's high pass, and then this is low pass, because here I'm controlling, it's not in the high end as much. So that's backwards, so sorry. Yeah, so it is unique. I've seen some people poo-pooing because like, oh, it's 5 effects and that's it. But it's a lot more than that. If you consider that each of these could be an effect helping you shape it, each one of these effects become a lot more complex. They have a ton of presets that go into all sorts of things. I think they kind of dropped the ball a little bit, because I wish they would have, maybe they'll bring it into but there's nothing to do any modulation of any of these parameters here. You can do it in Unify pretty easily. So that's, say we wanted to like, let's see if we can do it. Let's find a preset. Say I want this to do this, right? Let's see if we can do it. So I would need to take this patch and make it a whole Unify layer first. So I'm going to say right click, load this as a new Unify layer, so it's added here, and then say goodbye to the ones that are just the things that make this. So here it is as a single Unify layer. Oh wait, this is as a master effect right now up here, right? So I'm going to do this. I'm going to hold down Control and Shift and click the little bullet that copies the presets for FXEQ. Then I'm going to go into this Unify layer, and it did open in the window size I wanted, and I can say FXEQ, and then I watch this. This is so fun. If I just hold down Shift and I click this bullet, boom, it reloads that patch back up. So now, right? So it's now doing its thing. So I need to assign that to a knob. So let's go to the macro knobs. If I was to go here and let's see, sample start. We don't need to play sample start right now. So let's erase all of these. Hit the ear, Go over here and move to the right and left. There it is. So I now have access to that parameter in the sound. And so let's call this FXEQ FC, because it's like the filter cutoff. So this Unify layer has the effect in it. I've assigned a knob to that parameter, so it's changing. I just used the little ear, and then I just made sure I moved left to right, and that grabbed it. I'm curious. Let's see if I use the ear, and I also move this, and uh-oh. I broke it, so it's now just one. Oh well, that's fine. That's still the effect that I want. Maybe I don't want it to be 100%. Let's see. I don't want it to be quite so. Bring this down a little bit. I just want to see if I can get that to move, right? So let's go over to the top layer of Unify. And we go to the MIDI effect. We go Utility, CC Writer. And let's say we go, let's just have this be like this, so it goes up and down. And we need to assign this to CC20. It's already done to CC20, so all we have to do is go to this Unify layer and tell this to be CC20. Now it's playing and it's doing its thing. Here's what it's doing. Because that's what this is doing, right? So if I want this to go up and down and up and down and up and down, I would have to just make myself an up and down, right? And if I wanted to be more precise with this, there's a couple ways to do it. I could right click and say load a curve preset. And I could say something like, let's see, let's go to the macrolink curves. Let's go back to the default. This is one of these areas in Unify 2 that you are not going to believe what we can do in the future. It's crazy. Oh, look, it's doing a dance with the 2 points. So there, okay. So inside the plugin by itself, you can't do anything like this. Be kind of nice if you could, huh? But these guys, they just don't have a clue yet. So, but with Unify, you can add the ability to do this to all these. Let's say that if I was to like go up to CC Writer, let's get up here and let's pause it for a second. And let's also have it so we have like some sort of cool saturation going on. It's set to fold back. Maybe I want to play in here. So all I gotta do is hit the little ear, click and drag this. It's added it. And let's have it just play just in this little area here. So let's see what happens now. So, if you don't like the shape of something, you just change. Right? So you can get into all sorts of really cool sonic manipulation using CC writers on the knobs to control parameters in effects that don't have any modulation. Now it does. So don't tease us. Oh, I'm not teasing you. Believe me, I could tease you far worse. So no, but we got some cool stuff. We've thought about this a lot, and it's a lot of steps to get your knobs to dance in Unify 1, and it's not so in Unify 2. So yes, that's our whole goal, is making your plugins super plugins, right? So we talk about all the time. this was going to make your plugins super. So any questions? Any of the stuff I've shown? If you have questions, pop them up. We're wrapping up here. That's about what I wanted to show you guys today. I can show you a few more presets from this plugin. So let's do this. Let's call up. Let's do this. Let's call up something from Electric Dreams really quick because it's got the drums and the bass and stuff, so you can have like a cool. Let's put FXEQ on this and see what we can do. FXEQ, not 3EQ. Oh, come on, John. Let's try some presets. Let's like. Here's for the bass. Kind of subtle. They do have a bypass button, which is nice. Gritty glow. Some things are not for the whole mix, as you can see. These are presets, and they have different categories and so forth to work with. So here's percussion. So drum loop, but techno. And just as a reminder, this is what it was originally. And again, each of these things now. The delay, the lo-fi is here. More wider. You can also hit the plus button, which allows you to like add more to an effect. It's kind of cool. So this is adding the delay. So it is kind of cool. You notice the effects, you can actually selectively choose what frequencies you want it to incorporate. If you go up here, you can click plus. So you can add multiple bumps if you want. Maybe I want this to be scooped. Let's see, I'm gonna. Come here, you. I'm going to control you. There. So that is pretty cool. You can split the frequencies just so the delay is just affecting those guys. And play more than just drum suit if you want. But that's fun. Go here to the delay. Let's say we want it to be like a half note. Let's say I only have the dotteds over here, so eighth note dotted is a common one that you want to use. It's unfortunate they don't have. Oh, there we go, stereo. Okay, click this, you get stereo. Reverse. They have a modulated delay. So it's got more than just one tap, and they do sound very nice. And again, just the ability to choose what frequencies. It's just doing delays to the low frequency. To do that on its own would take a lot of work. So it's cool to have these built in like they are. I think can you change the order of them? I guess maybe not, because it's all just frequency dependent. So they're not chained, they're like all in parallel. Anyway, cool effect. I can see ways to use this in your productions that would be really useful. Save a lot of time. If you want just selective things to hit certain frequencies to give something a little bit of more, you know, ear candy or whatever like that, stuff like that. Yeah. For a copy and paste automation solution, just like MIDI. Yeah, copy paste automation is tricky because it's really dependent on the plugins and the parameters, and it's, you know, you look at even something like this. Let's go over here real quick. Let's delete this. If we go to the plus, just on the master to effect to FXEQ, there's a lot of parameters. So it's really hard to copy paste when you have so many possible bands and so forth for each one of the effects. You can see they define as you create new EQ steps. Those are the different Bs. So band, each one can have, it looks like up to 6 bands. That's a lot. So copy paste isn't going to be very helpful for that. So yeah. My 61 MIDI controller arrives. Oh, good for you, Flat. Yeah. I actually ordered this week a Hyperion synth. One of the little explorers to sit right here because it transmits polyphonic aftertouch. I wonder why I need polyphonic aftertouch. Curious. I wonder what's coming in the future. Okay. All right. Well, let's wrap it up. It's one of my favorite libraries just because I love that moody. Moody guitars is just one of those things that's really hard to pull off. And yeah, so I can do this better, and I'll do another library of Electric Dreams in the future for sure. I've added a couple other guitars to the collection. We'll sample at some point. All right. Well, thank you for joining me for the live stream. It's been fun to see and hang with you and show you what's going on. I think the Izotope products are great. Rob Papen's new synth is really interestingly cool. Got lots of potential. And then we've got the 2 new bonus libraries that we've done for Electric Dreams, which Steven has put together. That's awesome. So thank you, Steve, for all these really cool synth patches all over the place. Good stuff. And it's a free bonus library. So if you own Electric Dreams, this is available for you to add to it. So grab it. And then Bells and Winds has been updated to now over 70 bonus patches. So you have all the original wonderful patches from MegaMagic Bells and Winds, and then over 70 Buongiorno. What was the artwork for this? Good stuff. So, shout out from Virginia. Don, you're on it. Shout out from Germany. I love it. You guys are under the shout outs before I am. Shout out from Eagle, Idaho. Shout out from Eagle, Idaho to all of you. Helsinki, Finland. There's Ken in Washington. Shh, you're wrong from Cambridge, UK. I love that name. Yeah. Shout out from, oh, look at that. We're in the UK, more UK, Ottawa, Canada, Texas, West Texas. Good to see you, Thayer. Nice to see you. Mark in Arizona, Tim in Wales, my brother. Good to see you. Kasaka-san in Japan. Arigato gozaimashita. Domo arigato. Good to see you. By the way, check this out. How would I show these to you? I could show them this way. Let's see. I go here. Where did I put my messages? Let's see. If we go over here to where is Hannah at? I sent her, check this out. This is a photo from 1997 working on the Korg Z1 in Japan. So, good times. So, yeah, isn't that fun? So, long time ago, lots of history. So, and then this was the team that did the Z1. There's John Bowen, Andrew Schlesinger, myself, Jerry Kowarski, and then Igoshi-san from Japan, Kanamori's over here, Imayazumi. That was the team behind the Korg Z1 that made it. So it's kind of fun to see us with our own shirts. Andrew bought us shirts that we got to wear and stuff like that. So anyway, good stuff. All right. Well, thanks for joining us. I will see you next week. We'll do this all over again. All right. So have a great week. Thank you. And I'll take care. You take care. Have a creative week. Thank you. Bye. See you here.